everybody. Come on, throw your hands up. We got that feel good music, that vibe that make you wanna lose it. Everybody stop what you doing, rock to the music, bounce to the beat. For my people all across the globe, we got that feel good music that'll heal your soul. No matter what, put you from a high all. Only one rule, leave those guns at home. Feel good, don't it? Let's celebrate life, get your hands high. Hit the damn floor with honey, get light. Get to know her, get a number, get right. Get some drinks at the bar, get nice. Feel good, don't it? You don't have to be a rapper or ball player to ball player. Get your ones up so you can ball later. Whether you stay pimpin' the O.J. Simpson.
Don't matter who you are, just get in where you fit in. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Vince Pass in the building. Y'all know what it is for the podcast. One voice, one mic. You feel what I'm saying? You know, one man show. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Just a one man show doing what I do. A man in his mic in the building. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Listen, beautiful day out here today, man. I know a lot of y'all got some snow going on. I know a lot of y'all got hit with the snow. Shout out to all my people in the Northeast perimeter. Let me tell you, I know New York got hit. I know Maryland got hit. But hey, man, you know, I'm glad that some of you are out here tonight making it home safe from work. And, let's just get it popping. Look, we already know what today is, MLK. Happy birthday. You feel what I'm saying? You know, happy birthday to you. Y'all know what it is. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah. You know, MLK Jr. birthday today. You feel me? So what y'all do today? Some of y'all took off today. I know y'all did. Y'all took MLK Day off, said it was a national holiday, right? Well, listen. Let's get right to it. So today, you know, we're going to talk about MLK. The work is never ending. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as I put into the title, and hopefully everyone, you know, caught it, you know, I said, thank you for sacrificing your life like other freedom fighters and activists in the name of equality, freedom, and justice. The work is not done. Can we chart the progress since MLK's death? We are in 2022. Do you know what we are fighting for? Let's have a candid discussion tonight, you know, and I'm just one man that's on the mic. That's it. You feel me? So let's have a discussion. If you want to call in, all right, let me throw the number up there for y'all. Y'all want to call in? The number is, bam, in the lower left of your screen, 513-429-5964. Call in, man. You know what I'm saying? Let your voice be heard tonight. You feel what I mean? This is what we do here. One voice, one mic. We in the building officially, you dig? And if you want to pass on the link, here it is right here. You got facebook.com, you know, / Vince Pass, w.twitch.tv / Vince Pass. And right now, I am officially live on YouTube. I'm live on all three platforms right now. So we can go ahead and just get it in. And this will be condensed down into a podcast that will be sent out probably tomorrow tonight on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor. I got people who are chiming in right now. You dig what I'm saying? My man Gary Waters in the building. You feel me? Yeah. Listen, man. If you out here, have a seat, man. What you doing tonight? I know we chilling. I know some people probably watching the game right now. You know, I should have been watching the game earlier, but I felt like this show prep was really more important. And as usual, you guys know, I'm definitely a strong advocate for suicide prevention. So if anybody that you know is looking to possibly commit suicide or feel like there's no hope, or you feeling like there's no hope right now, you dig what I'm saying? The number's right here, 1-800-273-8255. Again, it's 1-800-273-8255. National Suicide Prevention Hotline, man. We all need somebody, especially in this particular time right now. Again, I say it again. We are in uncharted territory. We are in uncharted waters. Every day that we wake up, we are in uncharted waters. Things that are going to be coming up out of nowhere, that come up out of nowhere in our life, it's uncharted territory. So everything that we're dealing with is uncharted territory. But so you're not in it alone. You're not in it by yourself, okay? So once again, National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. All right? And I just want to let y'all know, man, everything is earned, nothing given. Remember that. I'm going to bring that back at the end of the show. Everything earned, nothing is given. So, you know, let's talk about Martin Luther King Jr. for a moment. You dig what I'm saying? Of course, we know civil rights movement, supposed to be the face of the civil rights movement. Shout out to the ladies of Fisk University who got this thing popped off, okay, with the bus boycott. Understand something. This thing right here was already a planned event, okay? Just so happened that Martin was in the right place at the right time. You know, they was investigating the case, and next thing you know, pop, bing, here he is, face of the movement. You feel me? 1963 was when MLK delivered a powerful speech. Powerful, 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 powerful. And he delivered a speech on the Lincoln Monument. So let me give it to y'all for 1 second. Hold on for a minute. Let me give it to you for a moment. And if you notice, I always talk about this book right here, 1619, free, free shameless plug right now. And when you read this book, go get the book, 1619. Go get the book written by Nicole Hannah Jones. You got to understand something. When you think about how Lincoln was supposedly freed the slaves, so listen, he had no choice but to free the slaves, okay? Because the war that was going on, he was losing. So he needed soldiers. All right, let that sink in for a second. I'm quite sure some of y'all, that diehard, historians may want to check that out. You may not believe it, but it's God's honest truth. We've been there for every single thing. Okay. So, it was a day in 1963 that you seen people from all over the spectrum. You feel what I'm saying? White, black, didn't matter what race, religion, sex. It didn't matter who you were that day when the speech went down. It didn't even matter who you were. Didn't care where you was at. You tuned in on your TV. You got a whole room full of people. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what was going down. Listening and wanting to unite under one flag, one purpose, one goal. That was for America to truly become one nation under God. But the reality is that we know that Martin Luther King went out there and he raised so many alarms. Everyone was up in arms. You feel what I'm saying? And no matter how hard we always try to separate Malcolm from Martin, I could never stress that these two had these two different approaches in the same fight. Okay, this on two different ends of the spectrum. You feel what I mean? They reminded me of the yin yang symbol. And so some people, when you look up yin yang symbol, light and dark, you know what I'm saying? Some people may say it's heaven and hell, or really what it means is interconnection and counterbalancing. Because whether you knew it or not, when these two were moving at two different ends of the spectrum, they were both actually making room for one another. Oh yeah, definitely. Because while it was like good cop, bad cop. While Martin was hitting you over here, Malcolm was hitting you over here. When Malcolm was hitting you over here, Martin was hitting you over here. And they were counterbalancing one another. And a lot of times we don't look at it as that because, history will, and people will always give their own recount of the situation or make highlight of the negative part of it, of how they didn't see eye to eye. They may not have seen eye to eye, like he said, but his love and affection for the fact that he was a part of the movement was more than enough for him. You dig what I'm saying? And Martin wasn't a perfect man. Let's be clear. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't a perfect man. He gave us supernatural moments, though, by the grace of God. That's what he gave us. He gave us supernatural moments in his speeches, in the things that he said, in his communication, you know what I'm saying, his mannerisms. And to push a nonviolent movement, geez, that's a special gift for thousands, for thousands and thousands of people to see and to witness and to walk in. People were willing to die for that. You dig what I'm saying? Die for that. And die nonviolently. So if you don't think that took a supernatural ability to be able, God given, to be able to pull off a movement as such, and to be respected in that movement, and not only that, the nonviolent movement not only showed how our temperament was, man, maintained, because we could have turned this thing into something serious a long time ago. We could have a long time ago. But even in the fight, for us to gain the equality, to get the bills passed, and we maintained a level of nonviolence, and that took a supernatural ability. Like I said, man, you know, born in Atlanta, he was a minister, a father, a husband, a brother, a son. Attended Morehouse College, HBCU, prominent member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to them. You feel what I'm saying? He attended Cozier Theological Seminary School. Then he attended Boston University for the doctoral studies program to get his doctorate in systematic theology. So when you think about Brother Martin, Minister Martin, however you want to call him, you have to understand that this was just the beginning of the work. This wasn't even this wasn't even the work. Like, he wasn't even in the full body of what needed to get done. It was still at the beginning. Still at the beginning. So when you look at how the movement started to shake after this speech right here on the Lincoln Monument, hey man, the whole diaspora of America began to change, and those who are in authority didn't like it. At age 39, the same way that Malcolm was he was murdered, the same way that Martin was assassinated too at 39, and we could say it was a level of symbolism that took place with that. But at the end of the day, man, when you think about the work is never ending. When they died, not just Martin, Malcolm, when they died, like I said again, we were still at the beginning. And I believe that, when the revolution comes, it's not gonna be televised. It's not gonna be like what took place on the insurrection when them dudes was on the Capitol, you know what I'm saying, trying to hurt police officers and things like that. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be televised. Everything will get shut down when the time comes for the real revolution to take place. That's how I feel. But every time that we gain ground, they move the goalposts. Can someone explain that to me? Anytime that we gain ground in the civil rights movement or in the movement for equality for black people, they always move the goalposts. They always move the basket. They always make the field goal 10 more yards, or they cut the field off. You know what I'm saying? It never amazes me how this always takes place. But let me tell you something. Many of us have not even bought into the fact and paying attention to the fact that in this particular day and time, you have to ask yourself, what are we here for? What are you here for? What are you contributing to this thing right here? What are you doing? I always say this. Are you a part of your community? What are you doing? Are you volunteering your time? What are you doing? Are you speaking to a kid? Are you speaking to kids? Are you cleaning up your community? Are you volunteering on an after school thing? Are you helping? What are you doing to play your role in this never ending battle that keeps going on and on for rights, for us to put our kids in a position to succeed? You feel me? We're living with generational issues that are going on right now. And many of you who are out there listening right now, you did what I'm saying, aren't even paying attention to the generational issues that we are continuing to deal in, because you're not even dealing with your own. So how do we expect for progress to even happen when you're not even willing to change your own mindset with your own people in your own family, in your own immediate area? I can't understand it. I digress. Because if you are willing to do so, then let's go. Let's pick something up. You feel me? Let's pick up a book. Read to the kids. Let's do something. Let us do something that is going to help spark these kids do more what they're doing now. Let's push people who have these businesses, okay, that are entrepreneurs. Okay, if they have a good idea and you know about the idea and you can help them, help them. Don't be selfish with it. Don't be selfish with the knowledge. America has already done that to us. They've been selfish with everything. You know what I'm saying? They've been selfish with the knowledge. They've been selfish with the understanding. They've been selfish with the land. They done took everything. So why are we still continuing to do this to our own selves? It's only for one reason alone, because we still are dealing in a generational mindset that has already caused us to have us to be set back, because you won't change your attitude towards your mindset. You won't. Many of you won't see it. That's why the work is still never ending. That's why there's a chosen few people that are out here doing the job, out here every day, busting their butt day in, day out. You dig what I'm saying? Trying to make this place a better place. Trying to, we can talk about generational wealth or generational health. You dig what I'm saying? We can talk about those things, but how many of us are really putting it in action? Forget just your New Year's resolution. Forget just that. We're not just talking about that. It's bigger than just your New Year resolution. But I hope you stick to your New Year's resolution. But we got to change our mindset. That's all Dr. King was even trying. Just, change your mindset. But even after the meeting with Malcolm, he became more radicalized. You feel what I'm saying? And even with the scene that was in the Malcolm X movie, when they was saying how, when he had said during the passing, like, they're gonna be watching you now, brother. it's weird because even just in the movie, right? It happened. It happened. They started watching Martin way more closely. And then when Malcolm died, and his speeches became more fiery. He started touching on more truth. He wasn't saying be violent, but he was started dropping more truth. But let me drop some more for y'all right here, okay? Real quick. So we have Janet Yellen, right? She is the head of the United States Department of Treasury. This is her right here, okay? And she says, all right, and I quote, here it is. The economy has never done anything, has never worked fairly for Black Americans. Period. Never worked fairly for Black Americans. So a lot of people don't want to admit it. A lot of people don't want to a lot of people don't want to admit it. They think that we have to be out here every day working to the bone. And that's what we do. We are out here. We out here still slaving on it. You feel what I'm saying? So, when we're out here and we're working these jobs day in, day out. Now we got the great walkout that's going on. Many people are still in a space where it's like, yo, what do I do next? So we walked out without a plan. So now what's your plan? So here's what I'll tell you. If you walked out on this great walkout that's supposedly to take place and you have an idea, let's get it to paper. Okay, let's get it to task. Shout out to the Black Mastermind Group. That's an organization that I'm a part of. You know what I'm saying? Anybody interested in becoming a mastermind, tap in, get at me. You feel me? We building up the Cincinnati area, and there's a whole bunch of affiliates all over the country. But I'll get into that some other time. So, what's your idea? What's your plan? What do you got going on? Because the work is never ending. Do you want to open a school, a charter school? Do you want to open up? I just found out so much information tonight from my teacher that it is crazy on the levels of schools that you can actually open up, but you have to have your stuff in order. There's money out here for you. There's so much money that we done wasted in since this COVID time. They gave it back because there was hardly any applications going in for African Americans who wanted to get these loans. And it was so easy to get. But you got to understand something. The door will close soon, okay? Like they say, it's a fire sale. The door's going to close soon. 50, 60% off, doors will close soon. So I don't know what you're thinking. You feel me? The work is still never ending. Yeah, so, like she said, America has never been fair to us. Not when it came to the dollar. But we are the biggest consumers. We'll spend money on a Birkin bag. We'll spend money on stuff that we can't afford. We will live so far outside our means that by the time we come back, we don't even know that we spent that level of money. And you have. This is what we do. But if you don't have a plan to recoup this money, you don't have a plan to put yourself in a position to produce generational wealth. And mind you, understand what generational wealth means. Generational wealth does not necessarily mean, rich, I'm rich. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. You got to understand the difference. If you want generational riches, you're dealing with the now. You want generational wealth, you putting your kids ahead 2 or 3 generations so they ain't got to work. It is our responsibility, and I was told this the other day. Vince, it's your responsibility to put your family in a position for 2 generations. Two, two, 2 generations. So what are we doing? Are we investing into a company that we believe that can get bigger? Yo, listen, don't think that Black Wall Street took place because they did not work together. They worked together. They lost it together too. You know what I'm saying? Tragically. You feel what I'm saying? So what are you here for? What are we doing? So Martin Luther King Jr.'s granddaughter, Yolanda Renee King, this is who she is right here. Young activist within her own right now. You did what I'm saying, doing what she do. And hey man, she put it out there best. And here's all I can say. And this is why I said what I said in the beginning. MLK is not a day off, Yolanda said, but instead it should be treated as a day on. It's a day of service. She basically just said, like, yo, listen, yo, even if you go pick up garbage in your neighborhood, excuse me, this is his 13-year-old granddaughter. Even if you go pick up garbage in the neighborhood, do that. Do that. Even if you go tutor somebody today, like I was saying, what are you doing to contribute to this never-ending work? What are you doing? You can't keep hiding, can't keep running. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep like, oh, it's not my time. It is your time. It's everyone's time. It's everyone's time. We have got to turn around the mentality that's going on here in America. Period. Listen, we were sold. The Africans sold us. They owe us too. But that's another story. You dig what I'm saying? It's another story for another date. You dig what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I know y'all sitting there like, yo, Vince, wow. But it's the truth. Africa sold us off. They owe us money too. All right? All right. Talk about that some other time. But yeah, if you in the chat right now, you know I got chat rooms available. We got to chop it up. I'm a one-man show doing what I do best again. You know what I'm saying? Come on back to you. You know, here goes the number down here, 513-429-5964. You want to call in, talk about it, let your voice be heard. You know what I mean? You just want to say something. Let's get and get at it. You feel me? But yeah, let's get on back to what she said. Let's go back to what Yolanda said. So what did you do today? You feel me? So she said, yo, treat my grandfathers, they honor my grandfather by doing something other than just taking the day off. Don't take the day off. I mean, it shouldn't be a day of work, me personally, but you should not definitely take the day off. So, 13 years old, still doing her 1-2 thing very early in this life, which is beautiful to see how active that she is. And yeah, that's just powerful right there, man. I shout out to you, Yolanda. May all your dreams come true. The things that your grandfather set out to do. Man, we may not live to see it. We hope that it'll be the generation that you're in and the generation after you may be able to see the fruits of that labor. I really hope that it works out. And just keep doing what you're doing, man. But today, y'all know we got the biggest fight going on right now. Y'all already know what it is. It's the voters' rights. Realigning of neighborhoods, redlining. They keep moving the goalposts, ladies and gentlemen. They keep moving the goalposts. The Republicans are so afraid of the federal government regulating the voting rights, the voting lines. Because at the end of the day, if this gets passed, right, government, like the Senate, Congress, they have no control over the voting lines. Yeah, that legislation, like it can just be the federal government will move in and be like, yo, look, this is what's going to happen. That will yield a disadvantage to the Republican Party. So here, let me show this to you right here. So today's fight now is the voting rights. And we reiterate this. Why is Georgia fighting so hard against voters' rights? Okay. Understand something, man. Georgia has a big history when it comes to the United States Constitution, period. There is a crest downtown, and I believe it sits on Peachtree, right across the street from the MARTA station. And I know it's probably still there. It's a big crest, okay? and you could read the crest, and it is basically telling you exactly what Georgia's willing to do to hold on to what they're willing to hold on to. When you get a moment, you should check that out. I didn't pull that up tonight. It's sitting downtown, and you can check it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Georgia is a is one of the was a powerful state in the union. It's still a powerful state right now. You know, it's not a Democratic state. It's a Republican state. Okay, let's not be fooled. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Making it hard. Do you understand that Georgia doesn't even have a hard like yo? It's more difficult to vote in New York than it is to vote in Georgia. It's just truth. You don't believe me? Go look it up. It's more difficult to vote in New York than it is in Georgia. But yeah, let me put this up here for you so you can check this out. The real reason why Republicans are blocking voting rights and legislation. It's an article that's written on June 21st, 2021, written by Stephen Collison. Okay, and in this article, this is what he goes into. And he says that a Republican told him that the Constitution does give the initial role to the states in setting the time, occasions, and conduct of congressional elections. But here it is. It does not state that Congress has no role in regulating elections and allow federal lawmakers to enact legislation that supersedes some state rules. That's the reason why Georgia is not budging on the voting lines. That's the reason why we don't have this federal voting bill passed yet. And the founding fathers knew this. Again, get the book. 1619. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. That's all I can tell you. Get the book. 1619. You will begin to open up your mind to what is going on. My TV is actually having a ghost in it, everybody. I really don't know what's going on. My TV got a ghost in it. Just came on by itself. But anyway, listen, man, the work is not done. So if you thinking for one moment that there's aren't reasons behind what's going on with the United States, with the overall, excuse me, let me clear that up. If you don't think that there's a direct correlation going on between Georgia voting bill and the voting bill that has not been passed on the federal level yet, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. And yeah, I feel, and don't get me wrong, I feel for all my brothers and sisters that live in Georgia. They're making it super difficult down there. And there's other states that's on that same bandwagon. And then we got Trump getting ready to line back up to go vote, to go run for re-election. Let me tell y'all something. I think we saw an insurrection one time. Get ready. Because this man right here is not playing. He is calling any and everybody out. So if that's what his spiel is, that's what he rocking with, guess what? That's what he rocking with. So, man, I just wanted to come with y'all tonight, give y'all a piece of my mind, Rhyme. You dig what I'm saying? So tonight, is a very special night. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, civil rights movement. And at one point in time, I got to tell y'all, I'm such a Malcolmist that I did not like Martin Luther King Jr. one time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I was young, I had this real militant attitude. I'm so Black Pantherish. I'm all that. I'm with the guns and everything. And I thought that he was a punk. I really did. I really thought Martin Luther King Jr. was a punk at one time. But it took this old white man to sit me down one day and said to me, he said, Vince, he said, let me tell you something. He said, Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't no punk. He said, honestly, he said that he felt like Martin Luther King Jr. was Jesus reincarnated. He said he never seen a man move an entire world through nonviolent activities. Never. Because of the nature of man. He said he never seen it before. And this is why I say that Martin moved supernaturally. You know what I'm saying? This is why I said that. So when the white man was telling me about it, I started to look at Martin differently. And I had to start reading. I had to wonder why he was reading Gandhi and started understanding why he was doing the things that he was doing. Because he realized that it wasn't just about him. It was bigger than him. And he said that there's too much violence. And that's how they moved in the movie. It was too much violence going on outside the movie. And then he told you in the speech, I had a dream. I have to move you with a soulful love. If you remember the movie Bad Boys for Life, the last one, and when it was funny when Martin told him, he said, "Watch, I'm gonna penetrate his soul," right? But the reality was, at the end of the movie, when Will Smith was fighting his son, and he was laying on the ground, and he told him, "What are you doing?" He said, "This is a man trying to kill you." He said, "I'm trying to penetrate his soul." And when he got up, he said, "I don't want to fight you no more." He was trying to fight, make him fight, make him fight, make him fight. And eventually in the movie, he penetrated his soul. At the end of the movie, he penetrated his soul. Listen, I'm not saying that, for some people, nonviolence may not be the answer. For some people, they want to be violent. For some people, they will continue to go down the road that they're going and not recognize that they're living in a generation of hurt. Until we all change our mindset and change our attitude towards wanting to change our mindset, it will only be then we'll be able to see what is holding us back. Because as Pastor Darius said, that whatever you're doing, if it wasn't of you that created it, then it wasn't of you that put it there. It was in your DNA. So you got to go back and you have to break down your DNA. You got to break yourself down and build yourself back up. You got to do whatever you need to do to change your mindset. Because no matter what, this movement is never going to end. The only way it's going to end is if somebody dies. And I'm not saying that it's not going to end peacefully, but the only way that it's going to end without the violence is if we all change our mindset. It could end violently, but then the violence will still keep going on and on and on. And so I stand corrected. And, I'm just one man that's on the mic. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just one voice, one mic. So I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for tuning in this evening. I want to leave tonight with this. I had a dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. Takes place on the Lincoln Memorial in 1963. And if you have never heard the speech, I'd advise you to sit down for these next 6 minutes and 47 seconds and please listen to the speech. This is Vince Pass, man, your guy for One Voice, One Mic. Shout out to everyone out there. Yo, I love y'all. Y'all have a great evening. It's going down.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history
as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, This must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring in Whitney Capital. When we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It's your man Vince Pass in the building. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know anybody is, ready to commit suicide or not feeling like themselves and they need somebody to talk to, 1-800-273-8255. Again, 1-800-273-8255. You can catch me on youtube.com/Vince Pass 1, or you can catch me at facebook.com/Vince Pass, or www.twitch.tv Vince Pass/Vince Pass. Hey man, thank y'all again tonight for joining me. Everything is earned, nothing is given. Even in the struggle that we're in right now with our own lives, every day, we get up in the morning, we go to work. Nothing is going to be given to us. Nothing, no matter how hard you think that it is. And please, make sure you pass that message on to your children. Make sure you pass that message along to your grandchildren. That everything is earned, nothing is given. I love you guys, man. Well, good night. Feel good, everyone. Let's go. Let's make it through the week. Y'all know what it is. Let's go.
Feels good, don't it?
Never show.
Everybody.
On the books.
Everybody, come on.
Feels good, don't it?
We got the feel good music, that vibe to make you wanna lose it. Everybody stop what you doing, rock to the music, bounce to the.
All my peoples all across the globe. Shout out to everyone that's here tonight. Thank y'all for joining me. Yeah. Runs at home. Feel good, don't it?
Let's celebrate life. Get your hands high. Hit the damn floor with honey.
Shout out to all the Capricorns in the building. I just turned 51, so yeah. Shout out to everyone out there. Let's do what you do, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Love y'all, man. So you can ball later. Dipping on O.J. Simpson. Matter who you are, just get it where you fit in. So what? Know what? We got the feel good music. That vibe to make you wanna lose it. Good night, everybody. Love you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Woo!